The room smelled of burnt coffee, cigarette smoke, and hot electrical wiring. For 16 relentless hours, dozens of young cryptanalysts had sat beneath humming fluorescent lights, their eyes fixed on endless streams of meaningless numbers pouring from Japanese naval radio transmissions. Every few seconds, another printer rattled to life. Another strip of paper emerged. Another page of coded groups joined the towering piles scattered across battered wooden desks. Most would never be translated. Most would never matter. Outside, tropical rain hammered against the windows overlooking Pearl Harbor, washing across the same harbor where shattered American battleships had burned just 16 months earlier. The twisted skeletons of the USS Arizona and USS Oklahoma still haunted every sailor stationed there. Every man inside the intelligence station had lost someone that Sunday morning. Nobody spoke about it anymore. They didn't need to. The silence carried enough ghosts. Lieutenant Commander Edwin Layton rubbed his bloodshot eyes and reached for another intercepted transmission. His fingers were stained with graphite from days of constant note-taking. He had decoded thousands of Japanese messages since the war began: supply reports, weather observations, fuel requests, routine inspections. Another message was simply another message. He almost tossed this one aside. Almost. Then his eyes stopped on a single line. His breathing slowed. He read it again. Then a third time. Across the room, Commander Joseph Rochefort sat hunched over another stack of intercepts, still wearing the same wrinkled red smoking jacket he insisted was more comfortable than his Navy uniform during overnight shifts. Without looking up, he muttered, "Anything interesting?" Layton didn't answer. Instead, he stood. The scraping of his chair echoed unnaturally loudly across the room. Several codebreakers looked up. Something was wrong. Layton crossed the room in complete silence before placing the sheet onto Rochefort's desk. "You need to read this." Rochefort glanced down absent-mindedly. Then he froze. His face lost all expression. For nearly 20 seconds, neither man spoke. The room, moments earlier filled with the clatter of typewriters and whispered calculations, became unnervingly quiet. Finally, Rochefort whispered, "No." He picked up the page again. "There has to be a mistake." The message wasn't marked top secret. It contained no battle plans, no invasion orders, no mention of aircraft carriers, no code words suggesting a major offensive. On the surface, it looked almost boring. A simple inspection itinerary. Departure time, aircraft assignment, escort formation, estimated arrival, weather conditions, refueling arrangements. The kind of administrative message that crossed military desks every day. Except this itinerary belonged to one man, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, Commander-in-Chief of Japan's combined fleet, the architect of Pearl Harbor, the most protected military officer in the Japanese Empire. According to the decoded transmission, Yamamoto would depart Rabaul shortly after dawn on April 18th aboard a Mitsubishi G-4M Betty bomber. A second bomber carrying his staff officers would follow close behind. 6 Mitsubishi Zero fighters would escort both aircraft. The formation would fly southeast over Bougainville before descending toward Balale Airfield. Estimated arrival, 800 hours. Not approximately. Not around 8. Exactly. 800 hours. The precision was almost unbelievable. Every checkpoint, every heading, every estimated minute, every change in altitude, every escort assignment, every contingency if weather forced a diversion. It was less like an intelligence report and more like someone had handed the United States the Admiral's personal calendar. Rochefort leaned back in his chair. No senior commander would ever transmit this much detail. Layton nodded. "I know. They've never done this before." They've just told us exactly where he'll be. No one moved. The realization spread across the room without anyone needing to explain it. For nearly 2 years, American cryptographers had been fighting an invisible war against Japan's naval cipher, JN-25. Every intercepted transmission was another piece of an enormous puzzle. One code group solved. Another 3 appeared. Sometimes weeks of work produced a single sentence. Sometimes months produced nothing at all. The code wasn't truly broken. It was being slowly, painfully reconstructed. Fragment by fragment. Word by word. Enough to glimpse the enemy's intentions. Never enough to feel certain. Until now, this wasn't a glimpse. This was certainty. Someone inside the Imperial Japanese Navy had unknowingly transmitted the precise movements of the single most valuable military target in the Pacific. The room suddenly felt smaller,